Was one, are we recording now?
I mean, you have, you can record as well.
Good morning, this is Robbie Lee, and this morning I have the pleasure of being with Eileen Kramer Downes. She's an amazing lady that I met a couple years ago.
Thank you.
How are you doing this morning, Eileen?
I'm well, Robbie Lee. Thank you for having me.
It has been an amazing journey. I had mentioned I had met you a couple of years ago. Eileen is a very heartfelt person. She's a practitioner of the laws of attraction, universal laws, and laws of emergence. And I'm interviewing her today on a new program that she has crafted and designed. And I have a couple of questions for her about that. I believe it's called the Fresh Start program, right?
The Fresh Start program, yes.
All right. So let's go ahead and get into it. Fresh Start program. I know you work with clients helping them to manifest their pure heart's desires. What do you mean by pure heart's desires?
Well, that's a good question. We all have desires of the heart, and I call them pure because they're true to us. They really speak to our soul. And every one of us has those desires. And life causes us to birth those desires. And really the life contrast that we live through sometimes causes us to birth those true heart desires. And so I just love talking about desires because I know that in my own life and in my own life experience, I really lost sight of that. I lost sight of my desires. I think other people's expectations, or maybe even my expectations of what I should be or do or have, really clouded over those true heart's desires. And I think this happens so often with, well, at least the women that I serve in my community. We are parents, a lot of them, wives, and we're caretakers. So we want to do that. That's part of our passion and purpose in life. But I think we put our desires onto the side. And so for me, I'm just passionate about helping women really get tapped in to their desires, and so they can live the life that they truly love. So I call them pure because they're really, they're always there. And I also call them pure, as you mentioned the law of attraction, because the divine in us, I call it divine intelligence, true essence, love energy, that part of us, that non-physical part of us, is always focused on our desires. And that's also why I call them so pure and true, because they're being lived vibrationally by that non-physical part of us. And when we become a cooperative component to those desires, that's when the manifestation happens.
So a pure heart's desire is something that's like, it's always there. It's always there underneath. It's underlying, it's like that purpose, that driving force. So when connecting to that, like what kind of challenges do you see that people might face when they're trying to manifest their true heart's desire?
I see, one of the challenges I see women face is they get caught up in the absence of those desires. Even though they are in our heart, we may not be focused on them. And if we are focused on them, we're focused on the absence of them. Like, we want the manifestation, we want it to happen already, depending, whatever it is. It could be in your relationships, your health, your wealth, your spiritual growth, development, personal development, career, whatever life structure it is. If they're focused too much on the absence of it, then the fear, the doubt, the uncertainty, you lose faith in them, and then you start getting overwhelmed and stressed out, and it just becomes, it just feels heavy and it doesn't feel fresh. So I do help in my Fresh Start program. I help women freshen up those desires, get clear about it. That's the first step, really getting back in touch with the desires, freshening them up, and focusing on them solely. Because when you do this with faith and trust and, of course, support, and surrounding yourself by the right people that believe in them too, and will just celebrate and support you, then the doubt, the fear, the worry will start diminishing, and the momentum of the desires will increase. And that is a big part of the Fresh Start program, is gaining the clarity, keeping up to speed with the desires, and allowing the resistance to fade away. But there are steps in doing that, and that's what I've structured in the program.
So it sounds like you help people to kind of like eliminate all the noise and really get clarity and clear focus on what their real desires are. So once one person really determines what their true desires are inside of them, how can they turn them into a real life experience for them?
That's a great question. Well, as I mentioned earlier, you first must get clear. Clarity is key, because when you're clear, then the divine in you and you are mutual. You're both aligned, because the divine, like I said, is always focused on your true heart's desires. But if you're in opposition to that because you're worried and you're in fear, and fear is a big factor in not manifesting them. I know this in my own life. That inner judge saying that you're not enough, you're not worthy, you're not ready, whatever that inner judge says to you, we believe it. We believe in the BS, and we don't allow us to just really focus purely on that desire. But the divine is always calling us to do that, because that's where the divine is focused always. And so I think, I also think that, imagine you got everything all at once. You think that you would like that? If you got everything that you ever asked for all at once, I don't think that we as human beings would like that. We think that we do, because most people think that they, once they manifest whatever they truly want, their heart's desires, they think that they'll feel better in the having. So I believe truly is that the joy is in the journey. It's not in the manifestation. It really is in the process. But we are either allowing the process to be smooth and fun, or we're disallowing with the fear, doubt, and uncertainty. So fear and judgment is something that we really work on, and we work on mindset, and really becoming that desire in consciousness, whatever it is that we, what do we need to become, but also what do we need to let go of. And this is the process that I'll help my clients with, because sometimes the journey is just so hard for everyone because of that fear and doubt in themselves. As I say, doubt kills the fear. It kills the desire. It almost feels like it, it just kills the joy in the journey. And life is supposed to be joyful. And I really want to help women get back to feeling that joy and trusting in the unfoldment.
And I think that's important what you mentioned about what we desire. If we were to have them instantly, would it bring us joy? Because it's a proven fact. People know this. There's 90% of the lottery winners who win millions of dollars.
Yes.
So many of them. I guess it's 90-some% of them. It's a very large number. Mm-hmm. That in a couple of years, there's so much tragedy that's happened within their lives. There's people that have died, become addicted on drugs, and a lot of these people wish they'd never actually even won this money, because things shifted and they're not really ready for it yet. So you touched upon that joy of creativity and enjoying the journey. And it's kind of like the nature, like being a child again and just getting out there and exploring what you have inside. Is this what you're working with? I have this.
Oh, totally. Yeah, one of the exercises in the program is imagination, because as a child, it was so natural for us to just play in the field of imagination, whether we were playing with our blocks or our dolls or race cars or just out there hopping around. We imagined, and I think that that is something that needs to be brought back into our lives. And especially women that I serve, like I said, for a long time we're focused on the desires of our children, the desires of our partner, and yes, maybe co-creating together. But I know for me and a lot of women that I serve, we lose sight of our true desires. And then we feel almost guilty or apologetic to even want it. We think it might be selfish of us to even want. And I say no. I say we are here to desire things, and God, life, source energy is benefiting from it. So God wants you to have that too. He's like, because you're co-creating with this energy. So he benefits from it, you benefit from it, and it's all good. And yes, the creative process, I believe, is what we really enjoy. Because if we just got everything, it would be boring. If we just instantly. Now, I think instant miracles are beautiful, but I think in the whole grand scheme of it, we like the joy. It would be, if we're sick in our body and we just completely surrender and let go, sometimes people instantly have a healing. And that's wonderful because they have finally surrendered to the highest idea. And that happens a lot of times. And just like with the lotto that you mentioned, sometimes people do win that lotto and it's big and it's grand because they have been putting it into their vision all over their lifetime. Every time they saw lack or shortage, that birthed within them this desire for abundance. But see, abundance is our true nature. But if you are not strong enough to hold that energy of abundance, you will lose it. And that's where the law of attraction comes into play. And so I another topic that I absolutely love to teach is the law of attraction, because it's a law that is consistent, it's reliable, but it can work for you. And I don't even want to say against you, because it's always working for you. It's working to wake you up and to get more clarity. And everything in life really is working for our highest good.
Amazing, yes. I like the way how you touch back into that creative imagination. I think that really gives people inspiration and helps them. It looks to me like this comes back full circle then to really understanding what one's true desires are.
So true. I think back of when I was a little girl, I played with my dolls. Like I mentioned, that was one of the I played with my dolls, and I always wanted to be a mom. And I always imagined having a husband, the house, the white picket fence. And I manifested that. I have 4 beautiful children and a beautiful house. And I also played, I got punished a lot. I was always grounded. So in my bedroom, I had this like board up, and I played school all the time. Even though I wasn't really into academia, I wasn't the best student, but I did love being a teacher, and I am one. So if you think back of your childhood imaginations, and visit that. Did you manifest what you really played? That field of imagination became your vision in life. And if you followed that through and always thought about it, that's how the law of attraction plays out. So it's interesting to think about that.
I love that. So what really makes your program unique? And why would somebody want to sign up for a program? Or there's a lot of programs that are similar to that, but what really makes your program unique? And what makes it different?
Okay. Well, I think the one thing that comes to mind, or maybe 3 things, is that it's simple, practical, and inspirational. And I also want to say supportive, because there's so many programs out there that you can do on your own, and you might have a coach, but they're not really active in the communities. And doing on your own is a choice. But I feel like with my program, and based on my experience working with different programs out there and working with coaches, and some were phenomenal and some were not so present, and I really felt like I needed that, just to know that I needed it for feedback, for questions. And this is what I'm going to be offering. It's going to be an online program where they'll get the homework every day, but it will be simple practices that they'll do every day, and each one will build up onto the next. And I like that, because I know for the women that I serve, they are overwhelmed and stressed out. They have a lot on their plates. And just an idea of doing another thing might turn them off, but they know that they want to move forward. So if they could just get past that boundary, that obstacle of, oh no, I can't do another thing, having the support of a group, because we're going to have a private Facebook group, and the live calls every week will really help them stay on that fresh path. And I think this is a very foundational program for anybody that really does want a fresh start in any area of their life. And so it works for if you want to get fit, even though I'm not necessarily, because I also am a certified fitness trainer, but I think fundamentally, if you are not aligned with your vision, with your desires, then anything you want to create in your life is not really sustainable. So this is a spiritual fitness program that gets you, where you gain clarity and you release that fear, judgment, doubt, and uncertainty that is holding you back. So that's what I feel really is unique in my program.
I like the sounds of this. It sounds like you're breaking it down into simple bite-sized pieces that people can take something and they can utilize it immediately and see results with it quite quickly.
Quite quickly, exactly. Thank you.
A long, drawn-out program where you have to write a book or for a year or two. Right?
Exactly. But you never know where, I always think with this program, when you know what your desires are and when you are keeping up to speed with them and you're really stretching yourself, you never know where that will lead to, because that's the nice thing, to stay open to everything. Even though you have that clarity and that desire and even the outcome that you want, you always want to stay open to more and that expansion, because you never know what the universe has in store for you. Once you become that clear and open channel, anything really is possible.
I love this. Well, how would a potential client sign up for the Fresh Start program? Find out more about it.
Well, right now they can go to my website, which is trueessencefit.com, True Essence. And there'll be a program link, and under the program link will be the Fresh Start button that they can click on, and then that will send them to a page which will be all the information on how to sign up. Very simple. And they can also get in touch with me at 845-419-1414, or even email me at trueessencefitness@gmail.com. I know that's a lot of information, but just in case they have any questions or they really want to go through, or have, they want more information on the program itself. And you know what, I just want to say, I'm offering this at a flash sale right now for the first 10 people that are just ready. They are ready to say yes to themselves. They're ready to say yes to me coaching them. And they're just like, I want this. And if you really feel it in your heart, then just say yes. Because that's the biggest, saying yes to yourself. I know women have a hard time, and they wait and they wait until they're ready, but you're never going to be ready. You just have to say yes if you feel it in your heart, and the rest will pan out. But I also want the women to sign up. I need them as well, because I want to build this program. I already know that it has all the great foundation and the structures, but without the women, I'm not going to be able to build it even better, because they're going to be the ones that help me. So really, it's a win-win situation. And like I said, I'm offering it at a flash sale. It's a very, very, good price right now. So that's what they can do. Again, go to the website at www.trueessencefit.com, or they can get in touch with me at trueessencefitness@gmail.com.
And you also, I'm sure you'll have a link here where this will be typed out or written out, where somebody will have a link to your.
Absolutely. I'll definitely post a link. I'll post all the links with my business number, and just feel free to contact me. And also they can connect with me on Facebook, Eileen Kramer Downes. I have my private page, and then I have my True Essence Fitness page, which is physical and spiritual fitness coaching. And they can also private message me in there. So I'm very available, accessible.
Yeah, I just love your energy. So anyone out there that Eileen's energy is resonating with you, if you have any questions for her, by all means, get a hold of her. You got nothing to lose and everything to gain. She's very easy to talk to, and she's an inspiration. I know she's been an inspiration for me.
Oh, thank you, Robbie Lee. I am so excited to support any women who are ready to have that fresh start. I'm excited to just co-create with them and help them stay on their journey. And thank you so much for having this time with me today.
My pleasure, for sure. It all starts saying yes, right? It's that yes journey, saying yes to being who you were designed and created to be. Be willing to explore that.
Sometimes it takes courage to do that. I know that from my own path. But when you're brave enough to just say yes, all of the cooperative components will go into play. The universe goes into play for the people that are saying yes to themselves. So say yes and keep going.
Beautiful.
Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. So I guess this pretty much covers what we wanted to do. So again, feel more than free to get a hold of Eileen. She's amazing.
Thank you, Robbie Lee, so much.
Eileen.
And thanks everyone for tuning in.
I will talk to you later. You have an amazing day.
You too. You as well.
Bye-bye.